in the attack, you're gonna do it. So again, like from the brown belts to black belts, if you guys wanna do anything when you're getting under knee and attack toe holds or knee bars, not heel hooks with the key. It's up to you, okay?
Okay, so I'm gonna go for the same entry here. Switch my hips, go over, hands. And I end up in this spot here. Once I'm here, I wanna keep a hold of this grip, lift the leg up a little bit, and take this bottom hook out and start putting it here like this. I'm not gonna step just yet. I wanna hook this hip right here. Then from here, I can get this grip. This is the most important part of the entire position. How you grab this leg and how you finish is all dependent on this grip, okay? Usually what I do is I grab my own collar. I tend to grab my far collar instead of my near collar because now, instead of using just my shoulder on this side, I can use both my shoulders to get finishing pressure. I always want to keep this foot off of the floor. If I keep the foot on the floor, there's better chance of him to defeat the position by messing with my legs over here. So I always want to keep him extended like this and keep his foot off the floor. Then from here, I almost want to put the heel onto my like my chest here, right? Not yet an Aoki lock or something like that, but I want to lift it up past the point that you kind of think that you need it, right? Another thing, I always want to be bringing my chest back and looking over my shoulder, okay? That's going to help with him putting the boot on, right? If he makes a fuss. If I bring my elbow over his toes and look over my shoulder like this. Now, sometimes you can finish right here by putting pressure on the knee and then start turning your hips this way and then kind of pulling everything in tight like this. You can finish like this, but sometimes you can't. So what I do when I can't finish just like this is I start to go belly down, right? Usually, if the weight is on the heel, which it usually is because they're trying to put their foot to the floor, I sweep them like this. Then this is where his foot comes in and I start to step on the hip. Once I get here, I pinch my knees together. Yeah, let's move this way. And I let go of this grip here and I start putting my hand here as base to bring my elbow back until I can put my shoulder on the floor, then my head on the floor. Once I have my head on the floor, I bring both shoulders back and then, yeah, I don't even have to press. Once I'm here, like with my head on the floor and both my shoulders back, I put my hand on the knee and I'm pinching my knees together and pushing with my feet. So now I'm adding the deadlift to the already like near broken foot. So, yeah.
What's that?
So I'm here. I keep this collar here the whole time. I lift the leg up a little bit, and I put my foot on the hip, and I hook it. I don't want to step yet. I hook. Then I come over to my grip. I grab the far collar, not the near collar, because I'm just using the shoulder. I want to use the weight and power of both my shoulders. Then from here, I can finish here by bringing the heel onto my chest.
Guys, this detail is so important.
Yeah.
Okay? So when the heel start to get close to the ribs, that's when I start to feel the pressure, right? So try to make almost a yoke lock.
Yeah.
You know, when the referee cannot see, the heel is kind of like exposed, and the pressure in the foot increases like a million times here, okay?
To get the pressure when the foot is not on the floor, all I have to do is simply let go of the collar, put my hand just not on top of the knee, but right in that like soft spot below the kneecap, right here. Then that's when I start pressuring up and putting my knees in my chest. If I need to go belly down, right, if I have this or if I have the collar, doesn't matter, I start to turn, and then if your weight's on the heels, they will always fall. And then from here, this is where I put my foot, instead of here, on the hip. I take my hand off the collar or off the knee or wherever it was and I put it on the floor.
Mikel is going to scoop his elbow close to me, right?
Yeah. I want to make sure that I keep my elbow glued to my lat as I come back. And me, I don't want to keep his foot or his leg straight. I want to bend the leg. I want to basically shut off everything from this here on. I want to have just this part of his leg. So I can do that by scooting back and putting, you see his hips already raising off the floor because the pressure on the foot is already there. Then from here, you can do the same old, like turn the wrist up to get the blade of the wrist. That doesn't matter so much. All that matters is your shoulders are back, your head is on the floor, and then once you start doing that, if he's still not tapping, you put your hand on the knee, and then you start pinching your knees and deadlifting. From here, with this foot hooked, I can have the collar or the knee. I put the foot on my chest.
Então, my Luis almost all, guys. Try to find that spot.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's almost out, right? And then to finish from here, same thing, except I just turn my knees up towards the ceiling and I pressurize. But if I want to go belly down, which most of the time with a tough pony you'll have to do, is I just put this leg here and bring it to the ground. Then I put my foot on his hip right next to my own foot. Okay? Then from here, this hand, from wherever it was, it goes straight to the floor. It helps me bring my elbow back and bend his leg. Notice how I'm bending his leg, so now it's way more like a right angle rather than kind of like 45 degrees. I put my shoulders back, my head on the floor. The head on the floor is one of the most important details here. I want to finish with my head on the floor. I keep my knees pinched, I put my hand on the knee, and I start doing a deadlift, right? Just
Guys, few things here, like you're using a principle here, transfer the weight off your opponent, okay? So here, look, usually the weight is gonna be more in the front leg, right? So that's why I put myself underneath to try to transfer his weight to the other leg and make this leg light in order to attack. Okay, that's what we're doing here. That's the principle of the position, okay? So same thing with the De La Riva control. So most of the time in De La Riva, the person will stay really heavy in this leg. That's why I push here the back of his the back leg to transfer his weight to his back leg, and then I can make this leg light, turning my hips. That's allow me put myself under and create opportunity to attack the leg. Okay? Same thing here. What a guy explained about the submission, right? So what is allowing me maintain in there is this modify X hooks. If I don't have, if you guys start to step on the floor and I don't have the grip yet, it'll be almost impossible to finish, okay? So I maintain in there until I get my grip, okay? And look how his weight is still there, it's not on top of me. That's allow me to do a nice bind on the foot and be able to get good control, okay? So any smart opponent in this situation, right, the leg's gonna be across, the person's gonna try to drive. When the person drive, you guys need to force, like a guy say, the pressure will go to his heel. I need to transfer his weight now towards this way. If I let him establish the foot position, it'll be harder to finish. Okay, use the momentum. When the person drive, you drive the person to the side, and then you go back down. You transfer the weight to the side you want. Okay, so try to manage the weight of your partner. Okay, keep that principle in mind while you're doing the exercise.
yes, I go right. If it's like my knee here, my kneecap's right here, I want to put my hand right here. And I'm not like pushing it away. I'm really just pushing down. Yes, yeah, for both. Anytime you grab the foot to push it, to try to finish, I'm going right below the knee right there.
Any questions? Back and forth. 1, 2.